A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development, Hamas has announced that it will only release an American-Israeli hostage and the bodies of 4 other captives if Israel adheres to the existing ceasefire agreement in the Gaza Strip. This declaration was made during a press briefing on Saturday, where a senior Hamas official described the proposal as an exceptional deal aimed at re-establishing the truce that has been tenuous since the outbreak of hostilities. The official, who requested anonymity to discuss the sensitive negotiations, indicated that discussions regarding the ceasefire's second phase must commence on the day of the hostage release and should not exceed 50 days. Furthermore, Hamas demands that Israel cease its blockade of humanitarian aid and withdraw from a strategic corridor along Gaza's border with Egypt. The group is also seeking the release of additional Palestinian prisoners in exchange for the hostages. One of the hostages, Eden Alexander, a 21-year-old American-Israeli, was taken from his military base during the initial Hamas attack on October 7, 2023, which marked the beginning of the ongoing conflict. He is currently the last American citizen held in Gaza. The Israeli government has not yet responded to these latest developments, as government offices were closed for the weekly Sabbath. However, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office previously accused Hamas of engaging in manipulation and psychological warfare following the initial offer. The United States has been involved in the negotiations, presenting a proposal on Wednesday to extend the ceasefire for several weeks while both sides work towards a permanent truce. U.S. officials have expressed concern that while Hamas publicly claims flexibility, their private demands appear entirely impractical. Negotiations are ongoing in Egypt, where senior Hamas leader Khalil al-Hayya arrived on Friday to engage with Egyptian and Qatari mediators. These nations have played a crucial role in facilitating dialogue between Hamas and Israel. Under the ceasefire agreement established in January, Israel and Hamas were expected to begin discussions for a second phase in February, which would entail the release of all remaining hostages in exchange for a lasting ceasefire. However, only preliminary discussions have taken place thus far. Following the conclusion of the first phase at the beginning of this month, Israel agreed to a new U.S. proposal that involved Hamas releasing half of the remaining hostages in exchange for a vague commitment to negotiate a lasting ceasefire. Hamas rejected this offer, accusing Israel of backtracking on previously signed agreements and attempting to undermine the truce. Israel has continued to restrict the delivery of essential supplies, including food and fuel, to Gaza's population of approximately 2 million, while also cutting electricity to the region as a means of pressuring Hamas to accept the new proposal. The first phase of the truce, which began on January 19, resulted in the release of 25 Israeli hostages and the bodies of 8 more in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. Israeli forces subsequently retreated to a buffer zone along Gaza's border, facilitating a significant influx of humanitarian aid. However, an Israeli official stated last month that Israel would not withdraw from the Philadelphia corridor along the Gaza-Egypt border, as stipulated in the ceasefire agreement, citing the need to combat weapons smuggling. The current conflict erupted when Hamas militants launched an assault on southern Israel on October 7, 2023, resulting in the deaths of approximately 1,200 individuals, predominantly civilians, and the abduction of 251 hostages. Presently, Hamas is believed to be holding 59 hostages, with 24 confirmed alive following the release of the majority during ceasefire negotiations. The ongoing military offensive by Israel has reportedly resulted in over 48,000 Palestinian fatalities, primarily among women and children, according to Gaza's health ministry, which has not provided data on the number of combatants among the deceased. In contrast, Israel claims to have killed around 20,000 militants, although it has not substantiated this figure with evidence. The war has left vast areas of Gaza devastated, displacing a significant portion of the population and rendering nearly all residents reliant on international aid for survival. As the situation continues to evolve, the role of international mediators and the willingness of both sides to engage in constructive dialogue will be critical in determining the future of the ceasefire and the fate of the hostages. The world watches closely as these high-stakes negotiations unfold, hoping for a resolution that could bring an end to the suffering of those affected by this tragic conflict. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.